Hello learners, Mr. Saul here, and today we're going to continue our conversation all about the five senses. Today's lesson, we're going to focus on our sense of smell, using our nose to explore the world around us. Now, before we get started, I have a question for you guys. In a minute, your teacher or parent is going to pause the video, and you guys are going to think and answer this question. What are some of your favorite smells? Think about your very favorite smells in the world. Now think about some of your least favorite smells, those ones that make you go, oh, ick, gross. Now, I want you to think about how you can describe or talk about those smells to someone else. How would you describe those smells? But here's the trick, here's the challenge. You cannot use the words good or bad when you're talking about these smells. You have to think of other ways that you can talk about the smells. So instead of just saying it smells so good or it smells so bad, you could say how it makes you feel. Does the smell make you want to do anything? How about how does the smell does it remind you of anything? Do you think of something when you smell that? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pause and you're gonna answer these questions. What's your favorite smell? What's your least favorite smell? And you can't use the words good or bad. All right, so now that our brains are thinking all about smells, let's talk about how our sense of smell works. So obviously we use our nose to smell. Here's my nose, right? Can you guys tell? It looks the same. So let's say I'm having dinner and my mom or Miss C made soup for dinner. So here is my soup. And soup is made out of all kinds of different things, right? In a soup there might be carrots, there might be rice or noodles or tomatoes or potatoes. Many, many things can go into a soup. Now, when I smell the soup with my nose, I can tell all the different things that are in there. I can smell, oh, there's carrots and what else is in there? Maybe some salt, a little bit of chicken, right? I can tell all these different things just by smelling it. Well, how does that work? Well, if we were to look inside of Mr. Saul's nose, inside we would see that there are boogers, and also there's all these little hairs that are covering the inside of your nose. So all those hairs inside of your nose are actually there to protect you. Because if you think about it, there's all kinds of stuff just floating around in the air. There might be pollen from trees or dust from a shell, a bunch of different things floating in the air. And your hair in your nose will block those things or catch them. And that'll keep them from going all the way in to where you're breathing in your lungs and all that. So the hair is there for your protection. The hair also helps to warm up the air as it's coming in through your nose. If you've ever been out in the really, really cold, it can be a little bit painful to breathe in cold air. So if you breathe through your nose, that air gets a chance to warm up as it flows over these hairs, and that makes it more comfortable to breathe. The hairs are also good for catching boogers, because you don't want to breathe that into your lungs, so your nose will form up around all that dirt and stuff that got caught in your nose, and it'll make boogers, which then you can pick out later on when no one's looking. Okay, so let's say that I smell the soup, and one of these little pieces, like let's say that this is a piece of it's a triangle, so I'm gonna say it's maybe a piece of chicken, okay? So this little tiny piece of chicken that's so small that it can rise up on the steam from the soup is gonna go up my nose. And it's too small to get caught by the hairs. It's gonna keep going past all that. And then it's gonna get to this place up here that's all these little holes, like keyholes, like in a door. And when this touches one of those holes, it can recognize the shape. And it says, oh, I know that shape. That's the shape of chicken. And then it sends a signal all the way to your brain. And it tells your brain, that is chicken. There's some chicken in this. And then something else. This one, it's a little bit spicy, so maybe someone put some hot sauce in the soup. And now it's gonna go up, and it touches that, sends a signal to my brain, and it says, I know that shape. That shape is the shape of something spicy. and then it tells me there's something spicy in that soup. So same thing for all these other ones. Here's carrots going up. Here's, let's see, maybe some pasta is in there. So all of those smells go up into my nose, and then it tells my brain, here's what's in that soup. So we've talked about how our sense of smell works. Now, in a moment, we're going to pause and answer another question. This time we're going to think about, how do we use our sense of smell every day? We talked about how sometimes smells can make you want to do something, or sometimes smells can remind you of something. They can make you think of something else. So how do we use our smells every day? Start with, when you wake up in the morning, what are some smells that you might encounter? How do you use them? All right, we'll be right back. So you guys should have just talked about how we use our sense of smell every day. Maybe you said that you can smell if your parents are cooking breakfast in the morning. Or maybe you can smell if somebody just used the bathroom and you need to wait a minute to go in there. So that leads us to our next question, which is, how does smell protect us or keep us safe? What are some ways that our sense of smell would protect us or keep us safe? Think about when you smell things and how that helps you decide what to do. Now that we've talked about how our sense of smell can keep us safe, let's do a little experiment. What I've done is taken a bunch of fruit from around the house and cut them up and put them out on these plates. This way, they will be easy to grab so I can smell them, and I won't be able to tell which is which. I also have my blindfold here, and I'm going to cover up my eyes for this experiment. Now the reason I'm going to do this is because I don't want my eyes to help me know what I'm feeling. So I'm just gonna grab one of these plates at random that I've laid out in front of me, and I'm gonna hold it up and I'm gonna smell it. And then I'm going to try to describe it for you guys in ways where you can imagine or understand what I'm trying to tell you with my sense of smell. All right, so here we go. Gotta put on my blindfold. And then I'll just grab one of these plates. I don't really remember which is which. Make sure my nose is ready to roll. Okay, I'll just grab one of these plates here. Okay, can you guys see? I don't know what I've got. I'm not gonna touch, I'm just gonna smell. Okay, I know that that is probably an apple. I can tell it's an apple because, well, first of all, the smell makes me think of when I taste an apple. It reminds me of the taste of apples. But also there's a sweetness to it, and also a sense of ripeness, like it's very sweet, like the sweetness is almost too sweet, like this apple may be overripe just a little bit. Okay, I'll put this one, well, hopefully I don't put it on another plate. All right, let me grab this plate now. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, I know what that one is. That is definitely garlic. That's a very strong and full smell. It's got a lot of parts to it, and it feels like it really pushes into my nose with a roundness. There's a lot of that smell that's filling my nose. Oh yeah, and it lasts too. The smell stays in my nose. All right, let me put this one down. Okay, next up. That has a very sour smell that sort of makes me think of oranges. Oh wait, oh I remember, this is a lemon. Yeah, this lemon, it's a sour sweet smell. It's almost both of those at the same time. Yeah, and that is kind of how lemons taste, sort of sour and sweet together. All right, let's see what's next. Oh wow, that is definitely cucumber. It has a plant smell to it, and also like a watery freshness. It reminds me of being outside and having a picnic maybe. Yeah, cucumber, excellent, excellent smell. All right, let's see what's next over here. That is the smell of a tomato. This is a tomato that I grew in my garden, And a tomato has a very nice savory flavor, a flavor that kind of lasts for a long time. And it's very rich. There's a lot of depth to the flavor of tomato. And to the smell too. Very nice smell. All right, let's see, what do I have here? This one. Whoa, this is, hold on, I dropped it. All right, let's see, what do I have next here? Oh, okay, that is definitely spicy peppers. It smells almost like a chemical smell. It's almost like it's setting off a warning in my brain saying like danger, danger. Now, personally, I like really spicy food, and I could tell that this pepper is going to be spicy because I'm getting that warning in my brain saying this is a very strong, this might even be painful if you put it on your tongue. So that's kind of my brain is warning me saying that's gonna be spicy, look out. All right, I think I had one more plate here. All right, here we go. This one, oh yeah, that is definitely honey. And when I smell this, it sends me back in my memory to when I was working with bees and harvesting honey. So that sweetness and also that earthiness as well. Oh yeah, I love the smell of honey. I love that sugary sweetness that it has. All right, so just using my sense of smell, I was able to go through and identify all these different things and describe them or talk about them in a way that other people could understand. So this is something that I want you guys to try at home as well. See if you can describe your smells, or maybe see if one of your brother or sister or maybe one of your parents would put on a blindfold and then you could put plates of things in front of them and see if they can guess what you have. Before we go, I want to tell you guys about one more really cool thing about our sense of smell. Our sense of smell is very strongly connected to our sense of taste. So if I'm using my sense of smell before I eat something like soup, it'll inform my flavor and make it so that I can taste more things. Now, if I cover up my nose, I cannot get that sense of smell anymore, and that means that my sense of flavor will be much, much less. So if I were to try one of these things, like a tomato, for example, and I cover my nose, I'm gonna get much, much less flavor from that tomato. Now, if after I do that, I breathe out through my nose, some of that flavor from the tomato is gonna get pushed out through my nose, and it's gonna activate those smell receptors, and then I'll get a much fuller sense of that tomato. So that's why if you ever have a cold or your nose is stuffy, you won't be able to taste as much because your sense of smell and your sense of taste are very strongly connected. So come back next week or come back tomorrow and we're gonna continue our conversation looking at taste and taste buds.